Welcome back to Tran's Play, A Little Lily Princess. The last time we played was July 15th, 2016. It is now October 22nd, 2016. It has been quite some time. But we will try to put on the best performance we can.
That's right. I'm ready to be a princess.
I don't really remember what was going on, but I think you do.
So I have been demoted.
Right, I remember that.
We have been demoted. And Becky has been very kind to us, helping us because we don't know how to, do things. And she comes over, she helps us, get our gear on and stuff. And we are enjoying our lives a little better. She's a little happier. She's kind of finding the enjoyment in things a little bit again and telling a little bit of her stories and tutoring other kids. And she has a book from Miss Minchin that she's learning Latin.
Okay.
So she's kind of like, she loves her books, as we know. So it's kind of exciting for her that she has that to look forward to, and she's remembering that she can still be a princess on the inside, and no one has to know it. She says creepy things about how she would off Miss Minchin if she was a real princess. Weird things like that, and Emily would do it. Well, she didn't say that, but it was implied.
So this is based off of an actual book. Does performing this make you interested in reading the real book at all?
Well, now I'm curious. You never told me it was a book.
Really?
You didn't tell me it was a book.
This is based off of a real book.
That's how you know what's going to happen. It's not because you know about the game, you know about the book.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would be intrigued by the book just because I'd be curious. Because I imagine it's not a choose-your-own-adventure book. It's there's one path. And I have no doubt that I am choosing the right path that would match the book because I'm just that good. You
really wanted to talk to Ermengarde.
Ermengarde is nice. I feel a connection with Ermengarde.
It's because the both of you have share the same IQ.
She enjoys nature and outdoors, which I do too. So I feel, Alright, so I'm feeling pretty chill. I like how it's chill. It's not cold, it's chill. We're just chilling. Okay, so as I recall, we had to get some pride. Now I had a question of, what does pride mean like? I think I'm too good for this job, or is it pride in what I'm doing? I think it's more pride in what I'm doing. And the symbol for this thing is... Do I have to click it?
Yeah, you have to click it.
Okay, I don't want to screw it up. The medal. Okay, so I want to make sure I hook up with some pride. Because I'm pretty sure Becky needs some pride. And she's hungry because she likes cake, as we know. So that's... Are there other better ways to get pride, or is pretty much like a chance? Ooh. Yeah, fatigue. We're really tired. It's like real life. Okay. We could use some more sorrow, but I want to make sure we get some pride. Yeah, let's do it. Done. Hungry. Fail. Oh, come on! Come on! Oh, I am super tired. Oh, this is bad.
When Sarah stumbled up to the attic that night, her slim legs shook with exhaustion. She could not even reach the comfort of the red footstool before her knees gave out. It had been a terrible day.
And Emily said, "Don't worry. I'll take care of you."
She had been sent out in the cold time and again, no one choosing to remember that she was only a child, that she was not strong, and that her small body might be chill and fragile. Cook's words had been vulgar and insolent. The girls had sneered amongst themselves at Sarah's shabbiness.
Oh, Emily. Some men laughed at me because my old shoes made me slip down in the mud. I'm covered with mud now. And they laughed. And because I could not find that last thing the cook sent me for, they would not give me any supper. I'm so hungry. Can't you hear me, Emily? I'm hungry and I'm cold and I'm tired. Why won't you say something? Say anything. There's nobody but you to care for me. No one in all the world. Oh, if she talks, so help me, that's it. I'm leaving.
She looked at the staring glass eyes and complacent face, and suddenly, a sort of heartbroken rage seized her.
Oh, we're gonna throw her.
She lifted her little savage hand and, with one sweep, knocked Emily off the chair.
Her eyes got all crazy. You are nothing but a doll. Nothing but a doll, doll, doll. You care for nothing. You are stuffed with sawdust. You never had a heart. Nothing could ever make you feel. You are a doll.
Sarah hid her face in her arms and burst into a passion of sobbing. Sarah, who almost never cried. Emily lay on the floor with her legs
ignominiously
doubled up over her head, but her face remained calm, even dignified. Sarah's sobs gradually quieted themselves. After a while, she raised her face and looked at Emily, who seemed, from this angle, to be gazing at her with a kind of glassy-eyed sympathy.
Oh, Emily, you can't help being a doll. Not any more than Ermengarde can help being plump, or Lavinia and Jessie can help not having any sense. We are not all made alike.
Sarah picked up Emily and kissed her, then shook her clothes straight and put her back upon the chair.
Perhaps you do your sawdust best. I must do my best as well. Oh, we need chill. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I was really worried. Okay, let's be chill, Becky. Chill. Don't tell Cook. Be chill.
Sarah sat on her little bed, rubbing her hands together to try and make her fingers warm.
It wouldn't be so bad if I had a nice pot of tea or cocoa to make me warm from the inside. Or if there were a fire in the grate. Or if I had a fur robe and a thick blanket. If I had anything at all.
In the lengthening dark, the empty spaces of the attic pressed mercilessly around Sarah.
There are no monsters in the dark. Even little Lottie knows that there aren't. I am perfectly safe. I only wish...
And then, as if in answer to her thoughts, a hollow knocking echoed through the walls.
Becky!
She hurried to the wall to signal her companion that it was all right to enter. Moments later, Becky hurried into Sarah's room, a blanket wrapped around herself.
It's starting to get chilly up here, miss.
Come and sit on the bed with me, and we can cuddle together.
With two little girls wrapped under two blankets, even thin ones, the attic soon felt much more cozy.
I was just thinking that it would be nice in here if I had anything at all to help keep me warm, and now I do. It's too bad these beds are so narrow, or we could sleep here together.
When I were little, miss, we had to share in beds like these, but I guess I'm not so little anymore.
We can both fit snug and nice while we're awake, but if we slept like this, I think one of us would fall off. Do you think it would work if we got both beds and put them next to each other?
Oh, I don't know, miss. Them bedsteads are heavy, and I don't know if they'd hold up being moved, and Miss Minchin might not like it.
You got a whole lot of apostrophes going on in that thing.
Yeah.
And you like having your own room. You said so.
Yes, miss.
But you're right, when full winter comes, we might want to.
We could put just the mattresses and the floor together. They're easier to move than the bed frames. Oh, but then the rats would come up onto the bed. Ugh.
Becky shuddered.
Sorry, miss, but even if they made us warmer, I don't want a blanket of rats.
No, neither do I.
Becky leaned her forlorn little head against Sarah's shoulder and let out a slow, soft sigh.
I'm sorry, miss.
Whatever for?
I came in to warm up, and I'm not very good company, and...
Air scraped harshly through her nose as she breathed.
And I feel like I'll never amount to nothing. Miss Lavinia was right. I don't belong around proper ladies.
Lottie is not a proper lady. She's just a little girl. And so are you. So am I. And Lavinia is a beast.
She's a young lady. She's important to people. I'm not. I'm not worth any more than a handful of half shillings.
Yes, you are. Of course you are. It's all just accidents. Tomorrow morning, Lavinia's family could disappear, and she could end up just like me. There's no way to know. Perhaps one Sunday Miss Minchin will be at church, and suddenly her heart will fill with warmth, and she'll come back to the seminary and want to be kind to everyone.
That'd need a miracle, miss.
Miracles happen. They happen all the time. They have to. Like on the road to Damascus. You remember that story, don't you? From your Bible classes?
Becky nodded.
It could happen. She could decide to make you a charity student. With your own bedroom downstairs with the other girls and nice dresses. And let you go to classes. Don't laugh. It could.
Who would believe me, one of them girls downstairs?
Even if she stays the same as ever, you don't have to be a scullery maid forever. You could be a parlor maid someday, or cook. Wouldn't you like to be cook in a nice warm kitchen?
I bet Cook never goes hungry.
I think her eyes are all starry. I'm thinking about food.
I think that's the default eyes.
Is it really that sparkly?
I don't know. Maybe not.
You see, it could get better. Everything changes. My position certainly did.
Sarah suddenly felt her fingers squeezed together by Becky's rough grip.
You're still a princess to me, miss. Always.
The corners of Sarah's mouth twitched uncontrollably upwards.
What would you do, Becky, if a miracle happened? If you could do anything, absolutely anything that you wanted? See, now there's normal eyes. She was crazy.
If I had a wish from one of them lamps, you mean?
For a second I thought she was wishing for a lamp. I was like, wow, Becky, think big. Something like that, but without having to worry about the magic going wrong, or a witch with a curse. And not about your whole life changing, just one thing. If you could do one thing, what would you want?
Well, I always wanted to ride in one of them fancy carriages like the royals have. Blue as the sky and covered all over with gold and jewels and lamps all around, and a team of white horses to pull it.
Oh, that's lovely, just like Cinderella. The carriage would take you to the palace where you would dance with the prince.
Miss, I don't know about that. Don't know how to dance. Don't want to. Just to see it all. That'd be enough for me, I'm sure.
You will see it, and much more someday, I'm sure. The magic will make it happen. New week.
Sarah lay in her little bed. The skylight covered her with the gray light of morning, but there was no warmth in it. No warmth either in the unlit fire, and very little to be found in the old blanket.
Oh, in the recap I forgot to mention that, remember she always wanted to see another head out the window?
Yes.
And someone moved next door, so I bet we're going to see a head.
Okay.
Okay, just sharing.
Is it gonna be attached to anyone?
Emily's perhaps
is
not.
it just gonna be like a series of heads just sitting in the...
That's what she said.
windowsill?
Like, maybe we'll look out, we'll see a head. She phrased it like that. I swear she did. Okay. Perhaps I will freeze in place some night lying here like Snow White in her crystal coffin. But what prince would find me here, alone in an attic, to wake me from my slumber? I do not even have dwarfs to tend me. Fairy tale princesses are often rescued by princes, but it is not so much the case for true princesses and queens. Mary, Queen of Scots, had to ride her own horses and raise her own army for her escape. She was very brave, but they caught her again, and in the end she was executed, just like Marie Antoinette. I think it is very noble to be a queen who must carry on, even when she is sad or afraid. More noble than a princess who sleeps and waits to be saved. I have to carry on. That means first I must rise from my bed.
Another day of work stretched before her, and no rescue in sight.
Well, I'm plenty tired. I still need some pride.
So you better get to tending those fires then.
Yeah.
Right now you're only committing halfway to it.
Yeah, I know. Alright, let's do this. I'll get some pride if it kills me. Alright, here we go. Hey! Okay, really, Sarah? You are a sucky princess. This was a pathetic week.
You got
Absolutely pathetic.
You got two pride.
Yeah, I got some other things, but I didn't need the fatigue.
Yes, you were max. So you only got 5 things, so one thing a day. The average.
Well, it's not that bad, I guess, if you look at it that
You
way.
have 50% productivity.
That's an F.
There were fine sunsets even in London, sometimes, but most people could see only parts of them between the chimneys and over the roofs.
This is when you got kind of dramatic with your narration there. What was that?
I've always been dramatic.
I know it was
narration.
that was more dramatic than usual.
I don't think so. Down in the kitchens, one could not see them at all. I could only guess that they were happening because the bricks looked warmer, the air rosy or yellow for a while. From the bedrooms of the boarding students, the views were only slightly better. Perhaps one might see a blazing glow as it struck a pane of glass on a nearby window. But there was so much more to be seen. Piles of red or gold clouds in the west, or the purple ones edged with dazzling brightness, or the little fleecy floating ones, tinged with rose color and looking like flights of pink doves, scurrying across the blue in a great hurry if there was a wind. There was one place from which a viewer could see the sunset skies in all their splendor. That place was, of course, the attic window. When the square outside the seminary began to take on that enchanted glow, Sarah would, if possible, steal away and creep up the flights of stairs to her attic, to lean as far out of the window as she could. When she had accomplished this, she always drew a long breath. In the golden light of sunset, even the London air seemed purer.
This wonder is mine alone. It is the one joy of life in this attic, the one beauty that has been granted to me.
No one else ever looked out of their other attics. Generally, the skylights were closed, but even if they were propped open to admit air, no one seemed to come near them. Sarah turned her face upward to the sky, which seemed so friendly and so near, like a lovely vaulted ceiling, and watched the colors change and flow. Sometimes the clouds made islands or great mountains enclosing lakes of deep turquoise blue or liquid amber or chrysoprase green. Sometimes dark headlands jutted into strange lost seas.
What the heck? What is that?
I don't know, but I guess we'll look it up. The sparrows twittered softly around her, and Sarah felt for a moment almost as if she could float away into the sky. But in the end, at last, it was necessary to lower her head again.
Wait, what was that?
For a moment, she thought she had seen a shape beyond the attic window in the house that the gentleman from India had taken.
It's the head. Perhaps someone was there. Perhaps... Sorry. I just read ahead. Perhaps someone was there. Perhaps the window will open, and a head will come rolling out. What, nothing? No laughter? I thought I was funny.
You may be the only one to think that. You and Emily, perhaps. But there was no one who thought you were funny.
Just a trick of the light. Really splendid sunsets always make me feel as if something strange was going to happen. Perhaps someday it will. Oh, we have pain. We've got lots of pain. Thank you, Becky. If you could get tired, that would help.
Some of my narration was, you gotta breathe a lot just to finish the sentence.
I know, right? You had a lot going on there. It was like a little soliloquy going on. All right. Ready for the pain?
Yeah. Sarah lay across her bed, feeling too weak and sore even to lift her head.
Why did Cook make us fill that basin up in the kitchen when she knew we couldn't lift it high enough to pour it out again? It would have been much easier to take it to the pump.
Her arms ached. Her back ached. Her head ached. The pain took precedence over every other sensation, even the cold.
I wish Becky were here, but I can't get up to knock. Not now.
And so, when the doorknob rattled and turned, Sarah's first reaction was pleasure and relief.
Oh, it's not her.
It was short-lived.
Okay, my angry voice on. Miss Minchin! She never comes up here. Do not move. Is something wrong? I said do not move. I won't have you hiding the evidence. Evidence of what? Theft. Miss Herbert has reported that certain valuable items have gone missing, and you are the most logical suspects. Lavinia!
Miss, what's going... Oh.
No sooner had Becky stepped into the doorway than Miss Minchin grabbed her arm and yanked her inside.
Get over there with her, where I can see you. Neither of you is to move until this room has been searched. If I have to strip you, I will. Now move!
Yes, Mom.
She hurried to Sarah's side, not even daring to whisper a question about what was going on.
I've never stolen anything, and Becky wouldn't either. I know she wouldn't. This is just Lavinia trying to make trouble. It's cruel.
There was not much to search in the garret. An old trunk in the corner was picked through, then pushed aside when proved to hold little more than napkins and rubbish. The table, the grate, the footstool, none of these provided many places for stolen treasures to hide. As for the bed...
Aha! Oh, I hope Becky didn't steal.
She produced a battered tin which clanked and rattled as she lifted it.
Oh no, Becky's half shillings. Here we see the proof of these accusations. I am absolutely shocked at this behavior, Sarah Crewe. Here I've given you a roof over your head and meaningful employment, and this is how you repay me? I am not a thief.
Them's my wages, Mom.
So, you would steal even from a fellow servant? I didn't steal anything.
Please, Mom, I gave them to her.
Miss Minchin scowled. The truth of the matter had to be apparent even to her, with the two girls so close. However, to admit it would mean admitting that she had been wrong.
A gift? That seems unlikely. Why would a little drudge who had next to nothing give it away? Perhaps you are afraid to tell me the truth.
No, Mom.
Let me make things clear to you, girl. That one...
She indicated Sarah, who furrowed her brow and refused to shrink back.
Has no possessions other than what I have generously loaned to her. She has no right to any possessions. She is in my debt, deeply and undoubtedly. If she stole this money from you, then she will be turned over to the authorities for punishment, and the coins will be returned to you. If you gave her this money, then it belongs to me as payment towards her debts, and I will confiscate it at once. Oh, she is mean. That's not fair. What should I do? I can't say that I stole the money. I wouldn't steal, and I won't lie. But if I don't, then Miss Minchin will take Becky's savings away. She didn't give it to me. I was keeping it safe for her. The money belongs to Becky. Do not speak unless you are spoken to. I am not interested in excuses. There are only two possible outcomes here. Now make up your mind. What is the truth? Was it a gift or was it stolen? It is entirely your decision.
Becky shot a fearful glance at Sarah.
Look at me when I am speaking to you. You don't need her help to tell me the truth. Make your choice.
It's a gift.
Very well. Then I thank you for your generosity.
Before both their eyes, she tipped out the contents of the tin. The coins were few and not even shiny. A moment later, they disappeared into Miss Minchin's pockets.
What would the church say to you if they knew what you had done? Don't speak impertinent nonsense. You are not above punishment. Remain here while I search the other room. After all, there are still reports of theft I must investigate.
The sound of her heels clacked away into the distance.
Oh, Becky, your savings.
It were nothing, miss. It were only a few coin. Nothing important.
But it was all the treasure that you had. It is like the Bible story of the widow's 2 mites. A small theft is a very great one if you have so little to begin with.
Becky wiped at her face.
I couldn't let her take you away, miss. I can't live here without you. I can't.
Oh, Becky, you are my treasure.
Even after Miss Minchin had finished her inspection and departed, the two little prisoners huddled together. They had nothing else. Sarah stood looking out at the sunset. There were floods of molten gold covering the west, as if a glorious tide was sweeping over the world. A deep, Rich yellow light filled the air. The birds, flying across the tops of the houses, showed quite black against it. Sarah sighed to herself as she craned her head upwards. All of a sudden, she heard a strange sound. Not a sparrow's chirp, but a strange, little squeaky chattering, and it came from the window of the next attic. Sarah turned, excited. Had someone come at last to watch the sunset as she did? There was a head visible, framed there in the skylight. But it was not the head of a little girl or a tired housemaid.
It's the neighbor dude.
In fact, it was the tufted head of a small, black-faced monkey.
Aw, it's a little monkey. Oh!
For Sarah, it was like catching a glimpse of a long-lost friend passing nearby in a crowd. When she had lived with her papa in India, she had played with just such creatures. She had thought to see them again. She swung the skylight up, leaning out as far as she dared to get a better look.
You darling thing! How I wish you could come for a visit!
As if in answer, the monkey rapped its paw 3 times against the window surface. Then, all at once, it hopped down into its own room, away from the skylight and out of Sarah's view. Sarah waited, hoping that he might return, if only for a moment.
I think that I hear him, still chattering away. Perhaps he is swinging from shelf to shelf within their attic, as if it were a jungle. No, I do hear something.
A voice was speaking in a low tone. Not a monkey, but a man. And then, to her surprise, someone appeared in that attic window. Someone with dark skin and brightly embroidered clothing.
Alaska!
He held the monkey in his arms, where it snuggled and chirped against his breast. As Sarah looked toward him, he looked toward her.
Hello!
Sarah had learned for herself how comforting a smile, even from a stranger, might be. Hers was evidently a pleasure to him. He smiled in return, and his whole face was illuminated. Hello, Miss Sahib.
He must have come here for the sun, since it's so seldom seen in England.
So, you are what Tran wished for me to see.
The monkey brought you here? What a delightful thought that an Indian monkey should bring an Indian man to be my friend.
This little one brings me many places. He is forever running into trouble and expecting his tall friends to protect him. The familiar cadences of his accent washed over Sarah like a summer rain. How long it had been since she had heard such a voice. Forgive me, Miss Sahib. I would open the window to greet you properly, but I fear Tran might try to make an escape. I would not wish to lose him. My friend, my master, is ill, and this creature's mischief provides him much amusement. Too, Tran does not know England or its weather. He might come to harm.
Of course. Perhaps we'll meet again on another sunset.
The sound of his quiet laughter did not pass through the closed window, but the flashing white of his teeth showed his amusement. Until another sunset, Miss Sahib. He disappeared then. She thought it possible that he might have bowed to her, but it was too difficult to tell through a skylight.
I wonder if he lives in an attic like me, or if he was only chasing the monkey. I do not know his rank in that household. I hope that England is kinder to him than it was to me.
Sarah sat on her little bed, rubbing her hands together to try and make her fingers warm.
It wouldn't be so bad if I had a nice... Sorry, I can't stutter or something. Okay.
Moments later, Becky hurried into Sarah's room, a blanket wrapped around herself. Oh, yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah. It's here, Becky.
Alright, I'm trying to remember how her voice...
It's starting to get chilly up in here, miss.
Why do you sound like you're a leprechaun?
I don't know, it's just like you're...
Was that the voice I was doing for her?
Kinda.
Sorry, miss, but even if they made us warmer, I don't want to... Don't laugh.
Sorry, I'm sorry.